I, F33, am a nurse. I have a very busy schedule. It's been absolutely crazy the past couple of years. My husband, M36, works an office job, and because he's a family-oriented type of guy, he always hangs put with his family. His family live on a ranch in the middle of literally nowhere. It's a hassle to go there, and due to my work nature, I don't go to most of their functions. I do however make sure to attend the big ones. Last week, his family wanted to host a BBQ party. He wanted me to go with him so badly, since all his brothers were bringing their wives, and since they mocked him for coming alone in the past. I said sorry, but I had a shift to cover. He begged, suggested I swap shifts with other nurses who are my friends, and even called them all to beg them to cover for me. I grew irritated and told him to stop it. He sulked for a whole day, then dropped it. In the morning, and hours before my shift, I discovered that my car's tires were out of air. My husband offered to drive me to the hospital at 4 PM and I agreed. I got ready, and we got in the car, but instead of taking me to the hospital, he drove me straight to his family's ranch. I was dumbfounded and angry after he said he tricked me into attending this BBQ, and that I had to suck it up and set this shift out. I was so mad I didn't know what to say. We got to the ranch, and I sat outside fuming. I waited and saw I still had time to make it to the hospital if I figured out a way to get there. I watched my husband go inside, leaving his keychain next to me, right where he was sitting. I took it and rushed to the back where all cars were parked, got into the car and drove off. His dad saw me and told him. He started calling my phone relentlessly till I turned it off. I got to the hospital in time, but didn't dare turn my phone on till it was past 8 PM. I opened it and saw tons of angry messages from him berating me, calling me horrible and a manipulator. I got on the phone with him, and he yelled about the awful stunt I pulled and bailing from the party and making him look bad in front of his family. He then calmed down and said that he now knows that work is more important to me and that he won't ever trust me after he basically stole his car and ran with it. We've been on terrible terms since then. His family are also mad, but I haven't spoken to them about it yet nor calcified anything. For what I did. I was desperate and worried that messing my shift might cost me my job. NTA, I mean, we are pretty sure he deflated your tires as part of the sneaky plan to get you to his family's BBQ, right? And he's calling you the manipulator? This doesn't sound like a healthy relationship at all. Not to mention how many lines he crossed calling her cowhawkers to cover her shift for a stupid BBQ. He's so manipulative, it's insane. NTA. NTA. What did he think would happen? You'd be fine with his trick. What about you just not showing up for your shift? Did he care about how that would affect multiple people? He deserved what he got, This keeps circulating in my mind too. Did he think she would laugh and say, boy, you got me good, letting the air out of my tires and lying about where you were driving me, asterisk, and then proceed to be jolly and gregarious at the party? NTA. I'm sorry, he called you manipulative? The person that lied to your face to get you to do what he wants to do. On top of this, he prioritizes his leisure time over your career. Don't you dare apologize to him. Feel free to leave him. I'm assuming it was him that let the air out of your tires, too. You need to get away from this guy. That was the bit that really got me. Plus, speaking as a health professional, it's not even necessarily about career. It could be about being needed to keep people safe and looked after. Having enough staff on shift can be the difference, life or death for some patients. You absolutely need to have a work-life balance, but a BBQ is not important enough to miss a shift, especially with no notice. WTF. Girl, your husband kidnapped you after disabling your car so you couldn't get away. NTA. He has serious issues. Be careful he doesn't start chaining you up. Run while you still can. I knew it was going to be bad when Op said the husband called her cowwalkers about covering her shift, because that itself is pretty crazy, but man, was I not expecting just how insane he would be. NTA. You do know that he was the one that fucked with your tires, right? Seems funny that he's calling her a manipulator when this and more shows his clear manipulation. NTA. Your husband could have cost you your job, gaslighted you, lied to you, kidnapped you, You need to leave him. And why the hell does Op need to talk to his family? This is between the two married people. Let them rest of the mess asterisk 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 in the ocean. She needs to get out fast. This dude is trouble all the way. NTA. Is this real? NTA. He committed felonies by vandalizing your car and kidnapping you. You grabbed his keys and ran. Because you knew, if he saw you try to leave he wouldn't let you go. Your husband and his family are horrible for even attempting that. You shouldn't stay in this relationship. His family are horrible. Mocking him because his wife has a job. Yep, they are. NTA. Your husband has serious control issues. Nursing is an extremely important, challenging, and exhausting job. You made a commitment to be there, and he apparently doesn't understand the importance of keeping commitments. Absolutely. It's been hard trying to manage my weeks, but to having this extra stress added is just beyond what I can take. I need a long break. NTA. You should get a lawyer and start separating your finances. What your husband did was low and incredibly deceitful. He risked your position at your place of employment for a stupid BBQ that you already said you couldn't attend because of how he comes off to his family. No. He didn't just risk Op's job and professional reputation. He risked lives by leaving a hospital short-staffed in the middle of an extensive and ongoing public health crisis. And for what? To stop his brothers from teasing him, or to prove to Op that he is in control of where she goes and what she does. This is an appalling and obviously abusive situation. Op is emphatically NTA. NTA. Throw out the whole man, hun. He is belittling your career. Thank you, BTW, for your amazing sacrifices in an insane time. Very likely sabotaged your car, essentially kidnapped you, and now claims you manipulated him? This man is so disconnected from reality. It would appear your lives are incompatible from how you want to spend your time, and he is not willing to accept and work with that reality. It's time to consider if this was temporary insanity or a pattern. He calls you horrible and manipulator, but he basically kidnapped you against your will and manipulated you. NTA, but maybe time to check what you actually married. Is this real? NTA. He committed felonies by vandalizing your car and kidnapping you. You grabbed his keys and ran. Because you knew, if he saw you try to leave he wouldn't let you go. Your husband and his family are horrible for even attempting that. You shouldn't stay in this relationship. NTA. This is an abusive relationship and you need to recognize this and get yourself out of it safely. If he says what you did was stealing, what he did was kidnapping. NTA. Taking your kidnapper's car to get away still isn't theft, it's an escape from a crime. NTA. You were wearing scrubs and he wanted you to go to a barbecue dressed for work. That's so weird. Never mind the fact that being a no-show for work could cost you your job. What is wrong with your husband and his family? NTA. Your husband intentionally put your job at risk so he would have your companionship at a party. Why are you still with him? NTA. In other words, his behavior could easily have cost you your job, at which point you would likely have been financially dependent on him. Just wondering, do you have anyone that would help you leave him, if necessary, or would you be completely stuck? And he has the guts to call you manipulative. NTA. He straight up kidnapped you and risked your job and livelihood, then had the audacity to accuse you of stealing his car. The fact that he was willing to go to that extent is a hug red flag. Also, he damaged your car. Who knows when he'll try something like that again to get control. He kidnapped you. How TF are you in any way, are you tar? Of course NTA, but your marriage has some serious issues. Leave this manipulative asshole. NTA. Your husband is a dick. It would not surprise me if he had all of this planned out, starting with letting the air out of your own tires. NTA. Your husband is the horrible toxic manipulator. As a nurse we all know that leaving our colleagues short-staffed can result in risking patients' lives. It certainly means that patients will be at best uncomfortable due to less staff to help them wash, turn in bed, go to the toilet. Your husband and his family are thoughtless and inconsiderate of anyone's needs but their own. I'm sorry you are putting up with their behavior. NTA. File for divorce. He doesn't care about you. Your husband flat your tires, lie to you, in order to get you to the barbecue, and still has the balls to call you the manipulator. NTA. This is so messed up. NTA. He renders your vehicles useless, takes you somewhere against your will, decided your work isn't important, accuses you of stealing when he put you in this situation, then accuses you of being manipulative and plays the victim. Get away from him now. Oh god, I didn't even twig that he did the flat tires. OMG, NTA. If we are looking for someone who's horrible and being a manipulator, it would be your husband. The fact that he thinks you're in the wrong is troubling. What did he think you were going to do? Suck it up. I'm assuming he also let the air out of the tires on your car. He's a master manipulator. Even worse is that he's pulling this crap when you're a nurse. Does he expect that you missing work is not a problem? Unfortunately, I would have trouble staying married to someone so manipulative. NTA. This man just showed controlling behavior and tried to gaslight you into thinking you're the one in the wrong. He's shown you who he is. Believe him. Run. NTA. Please read this again and pretend you didn't write it. You'll see how disturbing it is. Berating me, calling me horrible and a manipulator. Funny that he calls you what he is. Is this a new behavior? Vandalizing your car, lying, and kidnapping you? No concern if you lose your job. NTA. But I think your relationship needs some thought. Get your car fixed and go stay somewhere else for a while. Exactly. What the hell kind of marriage is this? NTA. Get yourself an air compressor that runs off the car for next time your tires are mysteriously flat, and make sure the local law enforcement agency knows about vehicle vandalism in your neighborhood. Check with your neighbors to see if any of them have security or doorbell cameras that might have recorded the perpetrator of the vandalism on your car. But this is seriously concerning behavior in a relationship and you need to extract yourself for your own safety. He vandalized your car and kidnapped you and blamed you for his actions. Start a bank account he doesn't know about and change your paycheck to deposit there. Reach out to friends or family, yours not his, about an emergency place to stay. Make plans to secure children, pets, important documents and sentimental items. NTA. For wanting to show up to your job on your scheduled shift and escaping from a kidnapper to do so. He literally kidnapped you. He won't stop there. Get out now.